Runway operations seem routine, but we all know how complicated they really are, and we don't take this complexity for granted. The data is telling us we need an increased focus and heightened awareness when it comes to runway safety. Despite our safety record being second to none, we will continue to mine the data and provide you with national trends. I appreciate the time you are taking to view this short video. This video will highlight key points and tips to help reduce risk on our runways. Our safety record is no accident. Your attention to detail is what makes our system safe. Thank you.
Runway safety is one of the FAA's highest priorities for safe flight. And as GA pilots, it needs to be one of ours as well. Let's take a look at one of the nation's busiest and most challenging airports, Honolulu International. In this video on HNL, we focus on two runway safety issues: hold short lines between parallel runways 4 and 22, and wrong runway landings.
Taking into account the large fleet mix from small Cessnas to 747s, military aircraft, land and hold short operations, converging runway operations, Honolulu is without a doubt one of the most complex airports you will ever fly at.
Due to HNL's unique design, pilots are at a higher risk of causing hazardous runway incursions. You may be thinking, that could never happen to me. But unfortunately, it does happen, and it can just as easily happen to you. The biggest contrast to typical airport operations across the country relates to HNL's hold short lines between parallel runways 4 and 22. Aircraft cannot stop between runways 4 and 22 without being within the runway safety areas of both runways. After landing, a pilot typically clears the landing runway by crossing the double-dashed yellow lines. But at HNL, the hold short lines between these runways are reversed from what a pilot would normally expect to see. Until you are cleared by ATC to continue across the adjacent runway, you must hold short at the first double solid yellow hold line you come to and remain on your arrival runway. This protects the parallel runway for a takeoff or landing. The tower is aware that your aircraft is not clear of the landing runway and protects the runway behind you. The HNL airport diagram identifies high-risk areas as published hotspots, which emphasizes the importance of familiarizing yourself with the airfield by reviewing a current and approved airport diagram.
The close proximity of the approaches to runway 4 left and 4 right create a dynamic situation for all pilots landing on those runways.
Due to the layout at HNL, pilots are also at risk of committing a wrong runway landing. Here, you can see the close proximity of the two runways and the full-length taxiway Charlie.
Identifying which runway is critical, and remembering that 4 left approach end is staggered about 2,000 feet east of 4 right. If you see two runway ends that are close together, you're actually looking at 4 right and taxiway Charlie.
Confusing hold lines, other large aircraft moving in the vicinity, several communications are going on to several aircraft, and only a small part of that may be generated towards you. So your awareness and your vigilance to radio discipline need to be at the top of its game.
If at any time you are ever unfamiliar or just unsure of what you need to do, don't hesitate to ask and find out what it is that the controller is asking from you. If you don't understand, ask the question, and it's always better to be safe than to be sorry.
We must make runway safety our priority and use these best practices when operating at Honolulu International Airport to reduce GA runway incursions. Working together, we can all contribute to the safest aviation system in the world.
It's just critical to be aware of the fact that we're just a small part of what's going on. There's a lot going on at this airport. It can all work, and it works fine day to day. The controllers are very good at what they do. We need to be very good at what we do.
Look, listen, focus. Lives are at stake.